So another one of the molds I had been really excited to try out were these little mermaid molds, especially because they're flat and easy to see what I'm doing. And I'm going to go ahead and again use this lovely peacock green. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit obsessed with that color. And we're going to make a sort of different styled mermaid. Not quite sure at the filming what I'm going to do with these. I'm thinking maybe keychains, possibly. But I have more than one of them today, so I'm going to try a bunch of different stuff. Now this is just a Q-tip and some alcohol, just to kind of clean the area as I go. I don't really want that green to be on the skin part. Just gonna knock out that residue. And I think I'm going to do a different color for the base of the tail, so I'm gonna go ahead and clean out the bottom half of that tail too. I think I'm going to go with this lovely blue here. Blue and green always work well together. And those are actually two of my most vibrant mica powders. I love working with these. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do the blue for the top half too. Ah, that made a mess. Now I'm gonna have to clean up that area. I've said it before, but that's pretty much one of the more annoying kickbacks of working with the smaller molds. It's almost impossible not to have some of it fly where you don't want it to. Especially when you're working in a little area like that bra. But that's what we have alcohol for. And that, ladies and gentlemen, if you could hear in the background, was my cat, who's annoyed because I'm doing this and not paying attention to him. Apologies. Alright, that's looking good. Just catch a little bit more around the edges there. Now I just gotta choose what I'm gonna do with the hair color. I think I'm just going to go, I haven't done an orange in a long time. And that warm color will really complement those cooler ones, so I don't think you can really go wrong with this. One of the things you can do to keep color flying where you don't want it to is to kind of paint it over at an angle like how I'm doing. That way it'll fall more towards the counter instead of part of the mold you don't want to touch. I don't like to do that any more than I have to because it's harder to show on camera what I'm doing when I'm tilting it. But that is one way, if you're struggling with that, to kind of make sure that it doesn't get scattered everywhere. And I think I've said it already before, but I really like these Faber-Castell brushes. They've got enough of a pointed edge, but they're not coarse, they're very soft, which is what I want on these silicone molds. That's looking nice. I have a little bit of that peachy skin tone I had made for a different video where I made the mermaid figurines. I think that's the one I'm going to go ahead and use for this. Worked well last time and I still have a lot of it, so there's no reason why it wouldn't work well a second time. And it's also got that nice shimmer like the rest of her. Comes the part that's going to give me anxiety, and it's going to be to very carefully swab off her eyes with the point of the Q-tip so that I can very carefully apply some color there. And I think I'm going to go with a lighter sky blue for the eyes. And just knock that residue loose. That appears to have worked. I'm going to put that to the side and start on a new one. I think this time I'm going to start from the center and work my way out. Upon reflection, that's probably what I'm going to do in the future. And this time, I think I'm going to use that blue that I used on the last one's eyes on the tail. Because it is a very nice blue, and I don't use it nearly enough. Now I think I'm going to actually go with the purple for the tail. And now I'm probably just going to go a full unicorn vibe with this one, actually. I really like that pink. I think that's going to go well with the rest of it. And there, that's coming out awesome. And like before, I'm going to carefully lift the color off of the eyes. And I think this time we're going to go with green. Like I said, total unicorn vibes with this one. I'm gonna put that one off to the side. And I think I want to try a different skin tone for these next two I do. So I'm gonna try to mix some darker colors into some of the already existing peachy color that I have and see what happens. Kind of playing this by ear, so I'm crossing my fingers that this will come out the way I hope it does. Okay. That certainly changed the skin tone, but I'm not sure if it's going to come out exactly as I imagine. Sometimes mixing mica powders is a little bit like alchemy. Not quite sure what I'm going to get until I pour. But I think that at least added some variation. Since we're playing with variation in skin tone, I think I'm going to go ahead and try some of this coffee colored mica powder and see how that one turns out. And now that we've got that looking good, let's see what's the next part I want to color. Wipe it up a little bit more first. And I got a little bit in the hair I need to remove. And done. Sorry for the shaky cam. I think I'm going to go with that mermaid pink that I had done for another piece because I really am kind of obsessed with that color. Just going to put a splotch there and a splotch there. And of course we don't want to miss the pieces that are under her arm. I think that maybe I'll try something a little bit different with this one. I don't know, I'm getting kind of a Neapolitan ice cream sort of vibe off of this. I didn't even realize until I got to this point that that is exactly the color scheme I have going on. And now I want ice cream. This is shaping up nice. I'm just gonna knock that out. Now let's figure out what we want to do with the rest of this. I'm just gonna clean up. Lift some of that dark color out of that bra area. I kind of am feeling, I don't know, maybe some gold. Maybe some of those gilded colors, we'll see. I think I am going to go ahead and try a kind of a yellow gold. That's looking nice. It's kind of a pineapple-y gold. Now that I'm on the ice cream kick, I've got a food theme going. Now, I don't know about the bra here. I feel like that's almost getting overpowered by the intensity of the skin. Might do to add a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna lift some of that away, and I think I'm actually gonna go gold there too. I think that would look really nice. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and set this up so that we can pour some resin, and I gotta be kind of careful about how I do this because I'm sharing space with another project currently. Just gonna very carefully try to get it just right, not overspill. Ack, so much for that. And I have a design flaw in my floor that makes it tilt, so I had to transfer it to a paper plate where I could put it on a more level surface, but let's see. Okay, that doesn't seem to have affected how it came out, thankfully. I will have to do a little bit of trimming around the edges, but that's all right. And go ahead and speed that up so that you don't have to watch 15 minutes of me getting the little pieces off. And there we go. That came out really great. Might be able to make keychains out of these guys, I'm not sure. I'm gonna put her to the side. See, I might have a few edges to file off of this one. And yep, she's gonna need a trim as well, but I really do like the way her hair and her tail came out. And this is why we keep sharp scissors around. Go ahead and start just taking some of that off. And there we are. Now we're gonna pull out, this is the first one we did. Hooray! That blue and that green never fails to come out vibrant. And I need to take that away and trim that off a little bit too. This one I had to re-pour because it was too shallow. And part of that was me running around and trying to transfer everything and multitask. So I re-poured her, and it looks like everything turned out all right. Yep, oh good. This was my unicorn one. I'm glad I was able to save that. So if you get a pour that's too shallow, you can always start again. And you can always pour your leftovers into whatever other little molds you have lying around, which I highly recommend. Not sure what I'm going to do with these guys yet, but I thought showing the demolding of my leftovers would be kind of interesting. I've only made a few flowers, so we'll see. They might be part of an upcoming project. And last but not least, I had a very little bit left and I made this little seahorse. Thank you for sticking with me through the overcast lighting and the table malfunctions. The next video will be a little bit more organized, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. I like the way these turned out. I'm probably going to make them into keychains.